Beyonce is being accused again of doing black magic. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Everybody ain't lying. I spent probably a week doing research on all the people that they were connected with, and all of them are connected to some sort of black magic, some sort of...
It looks like Beyonce might be diving back into that dark spiritual stuff again, supposedly to help herself and Jay-Z escape the mess tied to all the shady things they were rumored to have done with Diddy. People have long accused Beyonce of dabbling in witchcraft and even claimed she kept some disturbing items, like dead bodies, for ritual purposes. Now, her former nanny is allegedly coming forward with new evidence, and the details sound even more shocking than anyone expected. On top of that,
he put in the lawsuit, Jay-Z, that he was facing financial hardship, saying that he was not able to get business loans that he needed for his business and personal life because of these lawsuits. They've caused reputational harm, and banks denied him, even though he couldn't get loans before to save Roc Nation. And so he had to resort to a PPP loan to save Roc Nation. And how is it that a billionaire can't go into his own stash and allow his business to borrow money from him to save his business? Why does he have to run to the government to save him?
Talk about Beyonce's supposed involvement in witchcraft has been circulating since the early days of her career. However, the topic really caught widespread attention when her former drummer, Kimberly Thompson, who had performed with her on multiple tours, abruptly walked away during the On the Run 2 tour. Kimberly claimed that Beyonce was allegedly practicing dark spiritual rituals behind the scenes.
I cannot make this stuff up. Beyonce's ex-drummer of 7 years, she is seeking a restraining order against Beyonce. She's accusing her of dark magic, witchcraft, tapping into her phone bill, and basically controlling her finances, She's saying the Beyonce camp is put up a huge harassment campaign against her, and it's overall witchcraft. She sought a restraining order in the past. It got denied, and she has another one scheduled for October 11th, but the internet is just like, what? Excuse me? And, I was just at the Beyonce concert last week in Houston. It was definitely a religious experience.
Wait, the girl Cats. A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her while she was asleep, snacking on his and people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too, which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician and she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music, handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band.
For years, Kimberly stayed silent about the whole situation, especially after being labeled as crazy and even receiving hate mail at her home. But just a few months back, she finally decided to break her silence, and she didn't hold back this time. Kimberly revealed that she deeply regrets ever working with Beyonce, claiming that her career has never recovered since she came forward with her allegations. She also went on to accuse Beyonce's sister, Solange, of being involved in the same dark spiritual practices.
I definitely did that to definitely be so clear to cut the cord that I don't want to have anything to do with this person at all. I don't want to work with them. I'm even embarrassed that I have worked with them because it's literally shattered everything that I've tried to build after doing that work in my life. If I always said when I was a kid, I never would want to regret anything, but this I regret. I regret that we ever worked together because it turned my life completely upside down. She's not been able to let me go. She's not been able to let me progress into a mature woman and work with other people, build other great entities and statues and trophies that develop in the arts world and music. She's just been a savage, stealing my intellectual property, stealing my ideas, just basically doing anything and everything to damage any type of happiness that I could have had up to current. That be in my own independent career, establishing my own company, my own music, relationships, whether it be business partnerships, personal relationships. And so I've had to do a lot of work, a lot of practice of self-love. I know that You know, I was that kid that grew up and always did the right things and always studied really hard and always did a lot for whoever I was working for and the company. And, you know, that time has come and passed over and over again. And it's just been a nightmare to try to move on and do other things with other people without it getting totally destroyed. The other people I've worked with that have been on a plateau have been paid to fire me. I found this out, and then it just kept happening. So it was like, it was a pattern. You know, get really excited about something, you build it up.
Many people began siding with Kimberly after she mentioned Solange's alleged involvement. This was partly because, not too long before, rumors had already been circulating about Solange performing witchcraft when Nicki Minaj went online and started calling out Jay-Z and Beyonce. During Nicki's rant, Solange suddenly posted some cryptic images on Instagram that appeared to depict demonic idols or spiritual figures. Because of the timing, people assumed it was a warning to Nicki, a message that if she didn't stop speaking on the family, Solange might call upon dark forces to silence her. And interestingly, not long after that post, Nicki stopped talking altogether. These rumors gained even more traction when popular gossip commentator Storm Monroe chimed in. He claimed that Beyoncé holds a high spiritual position in Hollywood, calling her a high priestess with deep connections to a powerful entity named Oshun, one of the most dominant deities in the alleged occult world. Storm also compared Beyoncé's status to Madonna's, saying Madonna once held that top position but Beyoncé has now taken her place, which supposedly explains why the industry treats her with such reverence.
Well, Beyonce is a witch. She's a very powerful witch. She's heavy into African spirituality. She is a daughter of, I believe, either a daughter of Oshun or Yemaya. I go back and forth. I feel like it's Oshun though, but if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. But nonetheless, she's a high-ranking witch. Okay, how many people have come out and said, "Hey, shit, my cat started dying. Beyonce did this to me. I saw Beyonce do that." Like this is nothing new. Okay, but you got to understand when it comes to Illuminati, to this industry, one person replaces the other. Madonna's old. Madonna is almost done, and Madonna is a very high-ranking witch. She is a high priestess. That's just pretty much what it is. Of course, the main thing Madonna practices is Kabbalah, but then there's different versions of Kabbalah, just like there's different versions of African spirituality. But then I also believe that in addition to African spirituality, I do believe that Beyonce is into dark magic and black magic as well, her and Jay-Z. And we're just gonna leave it at that.
After Storm Monroe made those bold claims, fans and online sleuths began digging to find any possible proof that Beyonce might have a history with that kind of dark spiritual practice. And, surprisingly, they found some old clues. In fact, Beyoncé herself unintentionally sparked these rumors years ago when she introduced her well-known alter ego, Sasha Fierce. She once admitted that when she performs under that persona, it feels as though something else takes control of her. Beyoncé explained that she created Sasha Fierce to help her overcome her natural shyness on stage, saying that when it's time to perform, she lets this alter ego take over her body completely. In one interview, she even recalled raising her hands before performing at the BET Awards and feeling another presence enter her, describing it as the moment she truly came out as Sasha Fierce. But things took an even darker turn when one of her former dancers, Carter Sherry, came forward with shocking allegations. Carter accused Beyoncé of allegedly hiring people to kidnap and harm her child as retaliation for walking away after discovering what she described as witchcraft-related activity. Furious, Carter took to social media, calling Beyoncé an evil witch and vowing to expose her. She said she stayed silent for the sake of her career in the past, but she refused to do so now that her goddaughter was allegedly involved.
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
guess they're on vacation.
If this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
But here's the wild part. Rumor has it that Jaguar Wright actually got her insider information about Beyonce and Jay-Z's alleged victims from someone who used to work for them. According to gossip circulating online, that source is supposedly Beyonce's former nanny. While her name hasn't been revealed, people claim she was employed by the couple around the time the twins were born but eventually quit after witnessing things she described as deeply disturbing. So what do you think? Could there be truth behind the claims that Beyonce practices dark magic? Maybe even as a way to help Jay-Z with his rumored financial struggles? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to check out the next video breaking down even more of this messy situation.